Buffalo has only been to St. Louis one time, and that was 13 years ago, so maybe the unfamiliarity can help the Rams win a football game this season. Jason Horowitz, CBS Sports' Charley Casserly, glad to be with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. Buffalo's 3-0, but we're actually going to start with the Rams, who are 0-3, and Charlie, another change this week. Trent Green, now the starting quarterback instead of Mark Bulger. What do you take out of that?
Well, I think, first of all, Mark Bulger, and let's look at the career stats comparing them there. Both of these guys, highly productive quarterbacks in their career. Trent Green, of course, has had more starts. But Mark Bulger, to me, has not played well this year. I don't think he's the same quarterback as he was a couple of years ago. He got beat up last year. Does not seem to have the same confidence throwing the ball. He's missing balls that he should be completing. Now, I watched Trent Green in preseason practice. I think he looked terrific. His quickness was there with his release. He was accurate with the football. He certainly knows this system. He's worked with Al Saunders before. But Trent Green has struggled here the last 2 years with injuries. So I'm not sure what we can expect, except I think they will try to open it up and throw the ball because that's what they want to do with the balance with their running attack.
The other parts of this, you talk about the injuries to Trent Green. A couple of years ago when he had that concussion in Kansas City, that talk was he should retire. Clearly he hasn't retired. Does that concern you at all?
Well, again, I asked Trent that when I talked with him this summer, and he told me that, number one, everybody had cleared him medically, which is what St. Louis did, and Trent felt that, hey, I still want to play. I'm cleared medically. I'm going to play. But, you know, as a GM, I personally would be concerned, even if he was technically cleared, just from a common sense point of view, that, you know, he's gone down a couple of times. Maybe if I was a GM, I might be looking at another quarterback. I wouldn't put myself in this position of signing him. He's a wonderful young man. I know him. We had him in Washington, but you know, you just have to use common sense one time.
Well, the one thing that can help him out is a great rushing game. And, of course, Steven Jackson is a great running back. But this year it has not been successful. Why is that, and can he get going against Buffalo?
Well, the first thing is when you miss training camp, and let's look at his stats so far this year, it has not got in the end zone with a touchdown. That's the thing that sticks out to me. I think there's a curve, a learning curve, if you will, maybe a conditioning curve of getting back in a groove. I think that's what you're seeing here. Is a guy did not play at all in preseason. The Rams are struggling offensively. They're not able to throw the ball effectively. People can stack up against them. That's why you're going to Trent Green to open up that box so that Steven Jackson can get some runs. Of course, he's banged up a little bit this week. I think he's going to struggle against this defense of Buffalo.
And what about this defense? Because it is so much better this year than last year. What has impressed you the most?
Well, I think the reasons they're better are, first of all, two players. Marcus Stroud, who came from a trade in Jacksonville, what he's done is he's given them better depth in the middle where they're strong and physical up front, and a guy like Kyle Williams can get in there and make more plays than he could a year ago because you got to account for Stroud. Paul Posluszny, the middle linebacker from Penn State, missed all of last year. Very instinctive player up front, and they have good balance in the secondary. I don't know that they have a true dominating player on defense. They have a lot of good players that are playing well as a team.
And they all get to the ball. I mean, they attack the football as well. When you watch Buffalo Bills defense, it's like watching 11 guys as opposed to individual players. They are really good as a defensive unit. Now, the other part to this is they had another comeback victory last week. Against the Raiders, Trent Edwards had another comeback win. What do you take out of what he's done offensively this year?
Well, you got another quarterback here in Trent Edwards. Here's his stats so far. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 67% obviously on the completion there. Trent Edwards is a guy that I liked a year ago as a young guy. Why? The guy was instinctive in making his decisions. Very quick to find out where to go with the football and accurate with the football. He missed some time in camp, struggled in the opening game this year, has improved from week 2 to week 3. And, again, I see the same thing. He's a very smart quarterback with the football, and he's accurate with it. Right now, I think he's a better quarterback than either of the St. Louis quarterbacks.
And the Rams are in a shake-up situation, and their defense has been shaky at best. You could use a lot worse words than that. Fakir Brown, one of their starting cornerbacks, they cut to try and change things up there as well. Are you expecting big games from the Bills wideouts like Lee Evans, James Hardy, Josh Reed, everybody there?
I think it's a possibility. You know, St. Louis will live with the blitz. Well, if you get there, that's great. If you don't, and they've struggled getting there at times, you expose your secondary. No, I think right now the Buffalo passing game with the balance in the running game going to be a big edge against the St. Louis defense.
Now, the one guy that Buffalo will miss, Roscoe Parrish, both in special teams and wide receiver, he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks with an injury, so obviously won't play this week. All right, let's throw all the numbers into the computer. The AccuScore prediction, 10,000 tests, 10,000 results, and the Bills 69% of the time. go into St. Louis and get the win on the computer. You like him to win?
Oh, I like him to win here. And you know what, Roscoe Parrish being out, maybe we'll see more of the rookie Leotis McKelvin, who's one of the best, if not the best return guy that I ever scouted next to Darryl Green in all the years of my scouting. So what do I like here? I think you just have two teams going in different directions. Buffalo, confident, playing solid football. St. Louis, you can't find anything in the first two games that you can hang your hat on positively, either offensively or defensively. Now, St. Louis, they need a break here, and they get a bye after this game.
And nothing to find good out of that loss in Seattle either. For more on this game, it's a 4:05 p.m. Eastern start on CBS or any other in Week 4. Be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Charley Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care, folks.